Hello students, today we will be learning the term fits from the chapter limits, fits, tolerance and gauges. So let's begin with the lecture. Fits. What is the definition of fit? Fit is defined as the degree of tightness or looseness between two mating parts. So when we assemble one part with the another part, after the assembly, what is the degree of tightness or looseness or how the parts are fixed relative to each other, that is termed as fits. Types of fits. Fits are classified as into three basic types: clearance fit, interference fit and transition fit. Now let us study clearance fit. In this type of fit, an air space or clearance exists between the shaft and the hole. So what this statement means that when the shaft is inserted inside the hole, we will get the clearance fit when there exists an air space or there exists a clearance between shaft and the hole. Or in other words, we can say that the fit obtained is a clearance fit when the size of the shaft is always smaller than the size of the hole. So when the size of the shaft is smaller than the size of the hole, then after assembly there will exist a clearance between the shaft and the hole, and the resulting fit will be a clearance fit. Such a type of fit gives a loose joint. Since there is a space between the two meeting points, the joint will be loose. Again, clearance fit is classified into two types. First, sliding fit and another is running fit. In sliding fit, the one part is free to slide inside the another. For example, a piston is free to slide inside the cylinder. Second fit is the running fit. In this part, one part rotates inside the other one. For example, a shaft is free to rotate inside the bush of a bearing. So these type of fits are sliding fit and running fit. Now the next fit is interference fit. To obtain interference fit, the size of the shaft should always be greater than the size of the hole. So when the size of the shaft is greater than the size of the hole, a negative clearance will result between the two mating parts and the resulting fit will be an interference fit. It is used for components where two parts are to be permanently assembled. So interference fit is desired where permanent assembly has to be made. That is, there should be no relative motion between the two mating parts. So wherever a permanent assembly is required, the type of fit that is to be used should be interference fit. Now interference fit is classified again into three basic types: driving fit, force fit and shrinkage fit. Driving fit. In this type of fit, a small force is applied using hammer to insert the shaft into the hole. Students, as you know that for interference fit, the size of the shaft is always greater than the size of the hole. So in order to insert the shaft inside the hole, some external force has to be applied. So when this external force is very small and is applied using a hammer, then the resulting fit will be a driving fit. Force fit. In this type of fit, a slightly large amount of force is exerted on the shaft using hydraulic press to insert it into the hole. So to obtain force fit, we have to apply a slightly large amount of force. For applying that force, we use a hydraulic press instead of a hammer. So for obtaining force fit, a external force has to be applied using hydraulic press to get a slightly large amount of force. Next is shrinkage fit. In this fit, no external force is applied. So we do not have to apply any external force either using hammer or using hydraulic presses or any other means to get this fit. For obtaining this type of fit, the hole is first heated to expand. Students, as you know that a metal expands on heating. So when the hole is heated, it will expand or its diameter will increase, and then the shaft is inserted inside it. So we can insert the shaft inside the hole as its diameter of the hole increases due to heating. As the diameter increases, the shaft is inserted inside it. Now the hole and the shaft assembly is allowed to cool down, and as the temperature of the hole goes on decreasing, the metal goes on contracting, and finally the surface of the shaft and the surface of the hole meets with each other, and the hole exerts a force on the shaft, and finally we get the fit, which will be nothing but the shrinkage fit. So For driving feed and force feed, you have to apply some kind of external force. But for shrinkage feed, no need to apply an external force. To obtain shrinkage feed, we use thermal expansion and thermal cooling concept. Transition fit. Now transition fit may result either clearance fit or interference fit depending on the exact value of the dimensions of the machine shaft and hole within the specified tolerance zone. Now transition fit is a type of fit that will give you either a clearance fit or a transition fit or an interference fit, but not both. Now you will get clearance fit or interference fit depending upon what dimensions of the shaft and the hole are you selecting for assembly. If the dimensions of both the parts are selected such that the size of the shaft is smaller than the size of the hole, then it will give a clearance fit. Otherwise, if the size of the shaft is greater than the size of the hole, then it will give you an interference fit. So basically you will get transition fit, that is it will give either a clearance fit or interference fit depending on what dimensions of the part we are using. Now we will solve some problems on based on determining the type of fit for the given shaft and hole assembly. Determination of type of fit. Problem number 1. Determine the type of fit for the following shaft and hole size. Here both the shaft and the hole are having a basic size, that is diameter 9 mm. The basic size for shaft and the hole are always same. So your basic size for the shaft and the hole is 9 mm. Now the tolerance for the shaft and the hole is given as minus 0.025, minus 0.047. Since both the values are negative, the system of tolerance used is unilateral tolerance. Whereas for the hole, the upper limit is 0.022, whereas the lower limit is 0.00. Here also both the limits are positive and lying on one side. So here also we are used unilateral system of tolerance. So basically in this sum, unilateral system of tolerance has been used for both the shaft and the hole. But in this sum we have to determine the type of fit. Now we will proceed with the solution. For solution, we have to calculate the maximum and minimum size of shaft and the hole. Now, from these data, we have to determine what will be the maximum size of the shaft and minimum size of the shaft, and what will be the maximum size of the hole and minimum size of the hole. So, we will calculate one by one. So, maximum hole size. Now from the question you can see that on the upper side the value is 0.022 plus, where on the lower side it is 0.00. So the maximum size will be obtained when we add 9 plus 0.022, that will be equal to 9.022. So maximum hole size is 9.022. Now we will determine the minimum hole size. Minimum hole size will be equal to 9 plus 0.00. So 9 plus 0.00 equal to 9. Similarly, we will determine the maximum and minimum size of the shaft. Maximum shaft size. Now for obtaining maximum shaft size, we have to subtract this value minus 0.025 from 9. So 9 minus 0.025 equal to 8.975. So this is the maximum shaft size. Now the next we will calculate minimum shaft size. Minimum shaft size is equal to 9 minus 0.047. So 8.953. So for determining the type of fit, the first step we have to calculate the maximum size and the minimum size of both shaft and hole. Now after obtaining the maximum and minimum size of both shaft and hole respectively, we will proceed towards step number 2. Step number 2 is to determine the maximum allowance and minimum allowance. Maximum allowance. Now as per the definition that was taught in the previous lecture, maximum allowance is equal to the difference of maximum hole size and minimum shaft size, and we have already calculated the maximum hole and minimum shaft size. So we will now subtract the minimum shaft size from the maximum hole size. So 9.022 minus 8.953, that will give you plus 0.069. Similarly, now we will calculate minimum allowance. So minimum allowance is equal to minimum hole minus maximum shaft as per the definitions. Now we have calculated the minimum hole and maximum shaft size also. Now let us put the value. So minimum hole is equal to 9 mm and maximum shaft is equal to 8.975. So after subtracting we get a value plus 0.025. As you can observe that here the value of maximum allowance as well as the value of minimum allowance both are positive. So in such cases where the value of maximum allowance and the minimum allowance obtained are positive, then the resulting fit will be a clearance fit. As both the allowances are positive, the resulting fit will be a clearance fit. Students, always note that if both the allowances are positive, it will be a clearance fit. If both the allowances are negative, then the resulting fit will be an interference fit. Whereas if both the allowances, whereas if one allowance is positive and the other allowance is negative, then it will be a transition fit. I will repeat the steps again. For determining the types of fit, first calculate the maximum and minimum size of both the hole and the shaft. After that, find the values of maximum allowance and minimum allowance using the formula. Last step is to compare the values. If both the allowances are positive, the resulting fit will be a clearance fit. If both the allowances are negative, the resulting fit will be an interference fit. And the last, if one is positive and the other allowance is negative, the fit will be a transition fit. So finally we have completed determining the type of fit for this problem. Thank you.